So just some of the apps that have been huge, that honestly have changed everything, is GarageBand, which is basically a recording studio in your pocket. Kids can play guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, and then about 80 other choices on the keyboard that you would find on any synthesizer. You can play, oh, and then the other thing is that I believe last time I counted, there's about 300 pre-recorded loops from all genres of music that those kids that maybe are less interested in playing an instrument but want to do arranging, which is another skill that 5 years ago I never thought I'd be teaching second and third graders how to arrange loops. Maybe this loop should be 4 bars, maybe it should be 8 bars. You know what? Let's go remix that. Maybe we should have this like volume about here. Oh, put this loop up because you like that one more. Suddenly, these kids are becoming music engineers, which is a big word I used in my grant. Like, I'm going to teach these kids to be engineers of music, and suddenly these kids are remixing, they're editing. It's like they're A&R people in the studio. Another huge app is called ThumbJam. It is an instrument app, and usually one of their complaints about like a violin on a synthesizer just doesn't sound good, but with ThumbJam, you can be so much more expressive. You can do vibrato. You can pan the volume back and forth. Some of the sounds in ThumbJam, you can do pitch bends just by bending the iPad forward, bending it back. You can pretend you're a guitar player with a whammy bar just by shaking your iPad. These things are so cool to kids. Like, wait, this is just an iPad. I didn't know I could move this around and shake it and do all kinds of cool stuff. I could go on. There's so many different apps. There's so many apps with electronic music. There's one called Novation Launchpad. It is simply a screen of squares. The loops are already loaded in there, and you can just, one at a time, add loops, and the music is just continuous. You can add other loops. You can do filters. You can do volume effects, and this is all, my 3-year-old daughter can do it. She loves it. I said, hey, you want to play on Launchpad? And she goes nuts over it. And just another example of why it's so easy, it doesn't let you mess up. If you turn an app off, if you turn one of those loops off, it finishes out the 4 measures and then it stops. So they just make it so easy to be expressive. Just jumping back to GarageBand for a second, obviously you can't play piano if you don't take piano lessons. But they've got this feature where you can change the piano into a scale. And they've got like 10 different choices. Suddenly the piano isn't white and black anymore. It goes from gray and dark gray. The tonic note is on dark gray, and all the notes in between are just the notes of the scale. It doesn't matter which note you hit. You're playing in the scale. You could have a whole jazz band behind you. You can be playing in D Dorian, and you can't hit a wrong note. And that's so empowering for a student. Just play any note, right? I don't take piano lessons. Doesn't matter. You can play. So for me, it's been about music making. It's been GarageBand and ThumbJam. And I've seen that a lot. Other colleagues in the field, that's what I see them using the most: GarageBand and ThumbJam. Can't recommend ThumbJam enough. It's just amazing.